So, Donny approached me about starting a football club. Now, not a pub team. He wants to start a professional football club. I said, what about Highley? I've got connections to Highley. And my thinking was, Highley hasn't had a football team for a number of years. There's quite a big football history in Highley. We've got a really good youth club set up in Highley, but absolutely nowhere for them to go once they reach adulthood. I suggested Highley to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
And that was when we started looking and making inroads with my friends in Highley. We started making inquiries and seeing if it was a possible venture, and it turns out there's quite a bit of interest, and it'd be lovely to be able to bring that to Highley. I absolutely love the non-league game, and for anyone who's disillusioned with the Premier League, and many of my friends are, non-league football is absolutely grassroots is where it's at. A professional team in Highley with the potential to climb the divisions and enter some really big competitions. Highley versus Kidderminster Harriers, or Highley versus Bewdley Town, or Stourport Swifts. I just want to be able to provide a football club for Highley for the future generations, and with nice network links with the youth kids at the Highley Miners Welfare Club. I think it gives kids something to aspire to. Who doesn't want to be involved in something like that? That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it, if we could do that? That's a hell of a legacy. I'd like to leave that. Donny's knowledge of the game and the experience he's had in terms of coaching and working with the clubs he's worked with at the level he's worked at, which is far superior to where we're aiming to pitch in, which is West Midlands Regional League 2 is where we're trying to enter at. Donny's worked with some really seasoned professionals, and there are two things that we want to do. We want to attract, obviously, local talent, but at the same time we want to be competitive. We want to progress. We absolutely want to get through those divisions and get into some really good cup competitions. You know local lads as well, don't you, that absolutely can get us there. So by having Donny, who would be entering at West Midlands Regional League 2, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divisions lower than he's already managed at. Having someone who's worked at Midland Premier League level with Highley, stepping down 5 divisions, he's an absolute coup.
Stopped playing around about 29, went into player management, started off at a Sunday League level. I didn't ever have any aspirations to go into the semi-pro game, really. It's just an opportunity fell on my lap to go to Sveni, and a friend of mine went there. And it was in my blood then. I really wanted to test myself. The opportunity come to go to Highley after that, into the Black Country, work with some salt of the earth people up there, really nice people. Obviously a bit of Bridge North locally as well. So it's time's right for a fresh challenge. I want to be a part of this. The lads I've spoken to, the young lads, they want to put themselves in the shop window because I happen to know a lot of managers higher up the ladder. I want to take them players as high as we can take them. I'm really enthusiastic about what's going down at the minute, having met the committee members, having met the kids team, the players approaching me. I've got some players approaching me that could quite easily go 2-3 leagues higher. That's what appeals to me, really. It's a fresh challenge. And Highley, what's second to none, read the history of Highley. Jerry Hitchens, who comes to mind, Inter Milan, Aston Villa, England International, 1962 World Cup.
5 goals in 7 games, that's impressive, isn't it?
And that appeals to me, you know what I mean? And also it appeals to me, that local derby against Bridge North, obviously. And the goals long term, I don't want to be in Division 2. I want to take Highley into the West Midlands Premier League, 2-3 leagues higher. Yeah, the thing is, at this level, obviously, with the amateur game, you just have to pay a referee. You would now, at this level, have to pay a referee plus 2 assistant referees, which is your 2 linesmen. You've actually got more in the way of league fees at this level of football. It's quite pricey. The fees to go in this has to go in Sunday League. It's a lot more money. The costs are a lot more. Also, you do need to rope the pitch off. That needs to be roped off due to safety. There's also an issue, I think, portable dugouts are required. So, yeah, obviously there is a lot more in the way of costs. It is a lot more expensive to run at this level of football.
We're obviously sourcing a ground at the minute to get us off, because without a ground we can't go anywhere. We've got a couple of options in Highley which we're looking at. Obviously the Seven Centre is one, the Bates ground, but eventually the the end goal with some of the Sport in England grants and grassroots football grants and all those sort of things that are available would be that we purchase our own plot of land and actually build a small stadium. Currently, to where my sort of role is, I guess, is to get involved with the fundraising side of things. We've got to get sponsors, be that shirt sponsors, match ball sponsors, program sponsors, all those sort of things. We've got to generate. We need in excess of £250 per home game to stay afloat. You know, we want the kids of Highley to be able to go and watch a football match. You know, if you don't drive and you're in Highley, then you're absolutely stranded. You can't go and watch a football match. You know, train links aren't all that great, are they? So we are looking now to get local people on board. We want local people to join the committee. We've got a few locals on board already. But we absolutely need some sponsors now. So the opportunity is open for all sponsorship. So the amount we think we need to operate is between £5,000 and £6,000 a season. Okay, which, you know, is make or break to the club, but absolutely is not a determining sum in the sense that it's not groundbreaking, not earth shattering, should we say, the amount of money we need. But we can't just generate that out of thin air. So we absolutely need some community support. We're looking to raise that kind of money. £5,000 or £6,000. If we raise £6,000, we can let people in for free for the whole season. Without that, then we're in a much worse position. Obviously, we've still got to purchase kits, we've got to purchase nets, we've got to purchase balls, all those sort of things, and we've got to pay for referees, league affiliation and FA affiliation. And it is really difficult to operate without that kind of money. It's not, like I say, it's not earth-shattering, but in a village the size of Highley, I think it's quite easy to raise that amount of money. We're also going to put together a quiz night in March at the Highley Workmen's Club. They've been brilliant. They give us 2 evenings to be able to allow us to try and raise some funds free of charge. They've been brilliant. So we've got a quiz night, £10 per team in March. We're also doing myself, Jack, Chris and Dan and Jim. For those of you who know us, obviously we do the local Bon Jovi tribute. We're rolling out a new act in Highley at the Workmen's Club as Bon Jovi versus Nickelback, and all the proceeds of that are going to go to the club as well. We're investing our time and trying to raise funds in that sense as well.
I also have approached some bigger clubs already, you know, and they're all saying that positives that they'll send teams there, you know, which be a big positive. We will be approaching some bigger clubs because we know Wolves, even if Wolves were to send an under-23s, you know, we would look to play them. You know, yeah. We'd look to bring that to Highley.
Now, the problem is, of course, players are currently playing with teams. They're looking to leave and they want to know what they're doing next season. So for those guys, and we've got a lot of buy-in, for them to commit, obviously they want to know that we've got the club in place. Without the club in place, obviously they've got to start thinking about their own futures and looking at where they're playing next season. So we want to get it put to bed as soon as possible and put that funding piece aside and say, okay, we've got the funding that will see us through the season. Let's build the squad. And then we'll start doing it. We'll absolutely build a team to make Highley proud.